representative of each workshop to the stage. And the first workshop was how to develop a wine tourism route. For our participants, please, all together, all five together, please. And who's gonna talk, please tell us your name, your country, and your conclusion. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm going to start. I was from the first workshop, how to build a wine tourist route. I'm Emanuela Panche, president of Itervitis Cultural Route of the Council of Europe. So during our workshop, we went through a little bit the history of wine routes, and I was the first model of wine routes about 20 years ago. And we approached our expectation for what we called Wine Route 4.0 for the future. We went through weaknesses and strength of the actual model of wine routes, and we exercised ourselves building some ideal wine route in different territories. Kodru in Moldova, Bekaa Valley in Lebanon, Herzegovina, and Areni Cave in Armenia, and Azores Island in Portugal. So we picked some less known wine tourism destination, and at the end we came up with some conclusion. First of all, we all agree that wine is not enough to build our wine routes. We're going to need some multi-thematics route to be attractive for our tourists, and we are moving to wine tourism as a form of cultural tourism. So we're going to use the wine route as a tool for this scope, for this aim. So the six pillars of our wine route 6.0, of course, are going to be digitalization and smart tourism. They're going to allow us to promote even better and with the delocalization of the promotion of our wine route, and it's also a good tool to give a positive image of our areas where the wine route are built, also facing some political or ethnic or any kind of issues that we analyzed during the morning session. Then, of course, sustainability and eco-friendly practice, so green infrastructure, and every kind of eco-conscious practice, and multi-thematic cultural experiences, so underline the cultural heritage, and be able not to invent some amusement park to advertise and promote, animate our cultural route, but be able to build a proper storytelling, interpreting our cultural heritage, and customization and personalization of the experience, so tailor-made experience, tailor-made visit on the wineries included in the wine route, and something very important, data-driven insights. So be able in each wine route to collect the data related to our tourists and be able to understand the needs and appreciation from the tourists. Engagement and education, so interactive learning, collaborative partnership, and the last one, global reach and community building. So be able, after the visit through the wine route, also to involve our visitors after the experience, to be them part of our activities and of our development, even after the visits, and to be them aware of our initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the second workshop, Generation Z Getaways, crafting a irresistible tourism experience for the new generation. Please tell us your name, country, and...
So hello everyone. Is it working?
Yep.
So my name is Nane Kostandian. I'm from Yerevan, Armenia. It's not Not working? Okay. So yeah, my name is Nane Kostanjan. I'm from Yerevan, Armenia, and actually I'm a Gen Z, so that's why right now I'm gonna talk about how to make wine tourism more interesting for Gen Z representatives. We have first, what are the common traits for Gen Z for the traveling? So first, of course, we are gonna talk about like affordable budget because Gen Z is a younger generation and it will be very affordable to have a normal budget for us. Then we have a cozy atmosphere and more photogenic places because we are the social media generation and we would like to make a great platform for ourselves. Then we have how can wineries and tourism agents take the wine destinations more accessible for Gen Zs. So here again we're going to talk about social media because it's very interesting for us to have very accessible online platforms because we are the generation who likes to just click and appear somewhere that is interesting for them. And also what type of content is important for Generation Z. Again, we're going to talk about Instagram and the other blogs that make an interesting platform for our generation. So Instagram influencers and bloggers make this interesting content for us, and the best platform to take our generation to wineries are these social media experiences. Then, which kind of elements must include in wineries to have our interest? It is again the atmosphere and the good information because we love to hear both the traditional ones and also to see the modern technologies. So it's very important to combine both ancient times and our present times. Another question is, should the wineries make non-alcoholic alternatives for our generation? And the answer is yes, they should, because our generation loves to have an alternative experience because we have, all of us, we have our own problems. So one is vegan, another one don't like these high standards of alcohol. So the winery should have an alternatives for those who are not that much alcohol lovers. Then the final question, and one of the most important one, is how to train the staff so they can be more friendly to Generation Z. This is a very important question because for Generation Z, it is important for those who they are speaking to not be judgmental and not be intolerant. So if you want to talk to Generation Z, you have to be no judgmental. You have to accept all their choices. So if they want to drink the wine that is not that high quality wine, then it's okay. They can have that wine. So that's just a summary for Generation Z, and we are interested in winemaking, so that's it.
Okay, so Generation Z likes grape juice, yes? Non-alcoholic wine. The third workshop is Human Interactive with Smart Technologies, leveraging technology for sustainable wine tourism. Please, your name, country, and please.
Thank you very much. My name is Jochen Heusner. I live in Italy, and I had the pleasure of attending Juan's workshop, which was very interactive, was very hands-on. I love that. Very analytical, another thing I like very much, and is extremely useful. What we were basically doing is we reflected on the importance of technology in wine tourism, and at the same time trying to find a balance not to lose the human touch. So this is the key objective, I think. So what we did is we looked at three groups. We looked at 3 different wine experiences, and we designed blueprints of sustainable wine experiences. So from the perspective of, we looked at it from the perspective of sustainability, user or consumer experience, and how to enhance that. So what we did then is like we integrated smart technologies to those experiences that we identified and created some action plans. So as I said, like it's a very hands-on and actually gave you something to think about when we left. And I've got like plenty of ideas now. And can't wait to work on them when I get back home. So the idea is basically that we took away is like to use AR and VR, so augmented reality, virtual reality, for example, for improving, enhancing a color, sound, taste, and wine experience, or using AI tools for personalization and improvement of experiences and the tasting. And we thought about the main activities, the outcomes, the milestones that are involved, the objectives of developing these ideas and all the different steps that are involved, and the stakeholders. And all that, as I said at the beginning, always with the objective to make the best use of technology, all the tools that we have available, but always remember the human touch in the experience. Thank you.
Thank you. The next workshop, how to implement an e-commerce strategy for wine tourism. Please, your name, country, and conclusion.
Hi, my name is Eric Wagner. I'm from France, Bordeaux in France. And our workshop was how to implement an e-commerce strategy for wine tourism. So the idea was to be able to create, to go through all the different structures that we actually need with e-tourism. I think that e-commerce often get overlooked, or they get looked at individually, which always becomes a problematic, because if we only look at one sector, then we miss another element, and then we miss the opportunities which are there. So we started this by going through different scenarios and finding out how we could work this. But we needed to understand was the personas, the people that we were going to be targeting. So the understanding of who you were about to target, which different persona, the type of, which would create the type of experience that you would need, which brings us to the next part of creating that experience. Now, creating that experience brings then to a lot of things into account. Resources. So what resources do you have? As a winery, we're quite lucky. You have a beautiful an estate. You have different elements that are there. You can have a look at what you've already got. You can have a look at certain elements that you can purchase. But then you need to look at the staff as well to understand, okay, what languages do we have here? Can we just do one language or two languages? Can we have three languages? Obviously, the more flexibility that we've got with that, the more ability that we have to target more people. Once we've done that, we need to understand the pricing. One of the things that's quite interesting with a winery and wine tour is that we've got the ability, you have the ability to be able to split your pricings up. So if you're a scooter, if you're hiring scooters, for example, or renting scooters, you've only got one opportunity to generate revenue. Whereas with a winery, you've got the wine tourism side of things, which can generate revenue, which is one part, but you also have the opportunity to sell wine, and that is another one. The ability is to balance the two out, to be able to make as much money as you possibly can with that. So sometimes you might sacrifice a little bit on the wine tourism to make more on the wine sales side, or sacrifice on the wine sales because you're making more on the wine tourism side. After that, we need to be able to create a proper storytelling. This is where we create the name, we're going to create the introduction, we're going to create the description, and all of this, it comes into storytelling, which is going to bring people in and make people want to participate in that experience, which connects directly with the photos that we're going to show as well. And the photos need to be enticing. If that person needs to be able to see themselves doing that or wanting to be there, which is very much key. And then it comes down to the booking software, which is the e-commerce side of things, of the continuation, and having the flexibility to be able to take the bookings to have more opportunities to connect. And then we need connectivity. The connectivity is how are you going to connect up with your personas? Where are they? Where are you going to find them? How are they going to find you? Is it through social media? Is it through the OTAs, DMOs, through your regional offices, hotels that you've got, through your website? And as we saw before, very important how you have that working. All of these elements that we need to be able to create the pre-visit side of an experience. Then we need to have the visit side of an experience. So when people are arriving at your establishment, you need to be able to capture their data, understand who they are. And by doing this, we can, many ways, by tasting applications, by winery apps, all sorts of different ways to be able to harness information about who's coming through your doors. Unfortunately, most people will actually leave that data at the door as the customers coming through. We might capture about 10 to 20% of the people that come through, which is 80% loss when you consider that it's cost you a certain amount of money to bring these people in to actually see them just walk out the door is quite crazy. So the ability to be able to capture those. And then simplifying the process of being able to make that sales through a point of sales process, something that's very quick and on a touch screen, or even have an interactive element where a QR code and the person can go and purchase those wines or those products themselves without having to go through a checkout or somebody else, and be able to, even with a QR code, purchase that on the bus on the way home or purchase that at the hotel later on. So it's a continuation that's there. And that allows us to bring in the elements of a global sales solution, which are going to integrate things like customs, duties, taxes from different countries, and have all the algorithms that are all in real time, bringing these in. Once again, simplifying and creating a frictionless element with the customer to ensure that he can come in and purchase very easily. Which brings us to the post-visit side of things, which is, once they're back at home, we want them to still be our customers. It's one of the great things about being a winery, is that you can continue to sell for these guys for a long time. You can create an e-commerce site, so they, once again, through the website, very important, allow frictionless sales. And if you've got a global sales solution, that's even better, because it allows them to be able to purchase when they're ready to purchase. Fidelity programs like wine clubs are great, because they can harness a non-stop revenue stream for up to 24 to 36 months and even more. But the average is 24 to 36 months. And this is, it's easy money to be able to create. And all of this comes back into one, and that's data, the data information that you've captured during all of these processes of your customers coming through, being centralized and allowing you to understand them and creating more personalized emails, more personalized content, more personalized way of introducing, which basically allows people to be able to want to be a part of your community. And fundamentally, what all this brings into place is having a full structure for the full customer journey. And that's the e-commerce needs to be seen as the full customer journey, not as individual sections. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the last, fifth, wine, tourism and culture, creating innovative experiences. Please, your name, country and conclusion.
Thank you. I'm Charlotte Fougère. I'm the owner of Calice Hospitality Wine Tourism Development Agency, and I'm also the deputy mayor of Beaune, which is the capital of wines of Burgundy, and vice president of the Climat de Bourgogne, which is a UNESCO-listed heritage site since now 10 years, and also former director of Château de Pommard, if you know Pommard wine appellation. It was very nice to be able to organize this workshop with the participants that attend. Basically, we were looking at tackle a big challenge of the wine tourism industry, which is the risk of standardization of the wine experiences. And basically, we went through various types of wine destination to understand how culture can be a key lever to still preserve the attractiveness of a wine destination. Of course, we started with Burgundy. In Burgundy, as I said, we are now a UNESCO World Heritage Site because it's the result of a comprehensive and holistic approach of the vineyard, which is combining both human and winemaking historical practices with a specific land, a specific terroir, a specific climate, and with specific wine tourism development. In wine tourism development, we have, of course, everything that one estates are developing and with more or less innovation, and we are trying to remain on the top, and the top is usually related to investment. Investment in infrastructures, in buildings, in systems, infrastructures to be able to welcome visitors, ensure accessibility, transportation, right level of hospitality. But, of course, a main key factor to merge culture with wine tourism is events. And in Burgundy, we are professional event organizer. So each year we have, let's say, 2 major events, which are the Saint-Vincent Tournante and the wine auction of the Hospice de Beaune. We are on both of these events welcoming over 100,000 visitors for one weekend. And basically, all these events have the same, fundamentals, which are showcasing traditions that are existing for centuries. Preserving these traditions and showcasing them in a modern way are completely possible. It means that you still need to keep this tradition, but ensuring that visitors and also residents can access to these events very easily. Then we took the example of Saint-Tropez. When we are thinking about Saint-Tropez, we are not thinking about the vineyard. We are thinking about the beautiful seaside and all the partying. But actually, Saint-Tropez is one of the best vineyards in the south of France. And so we were looking how a wine destination that is not known for wine can use culture and local products to be able to reposition itself as a wine destination to attract new kind of visitors. Because, for example, and you have so many destinations worldwide facing the same challenge, which means we need to attract visitors not only in the summertime period, but in spring, autumn, wintertime. And basically, through wine tourism, when you combine with the cultural assets you may have, monuments, landscapes, everything where you can have an interpretation of, again, human interaction with the territory. And so in Saint-Tropez, basically, that's what they did with the 47 domain that they have. And they created an amazing chefs event that now is reaching international level, showcasing wine. And they are pursuing this strategy to deseasonalize the season and to be able to partner with hoteliers and other tourism providers to be able to organize wine tours during the entire year. Then we took a very nice example of a small countryside vineyard, which is 100% in the middle of France. It's to showcase that even very, let's say, second-range destinations that are not international destinations through wine tourism can showcase their culture and can basically have a specific economic growth through the development of their vineyard and their visiting, of course, experience that they would build. It is a way to attract fundings, especially for historical monuments that are usually very hard to renovate, for any kind of religious edifice like churches, to maintain this patrimony. And again, wine experience, because it's always itineraries through wine routes that are created. It means that, of course, we can bring these visitors toward these experiences. At the end of the day, as a conclusion, basically, what we were saying is that you can innovate at your estate on the wine experience level by, for example, putting wine down in the water for some period and then showcase the festival as it is going on in the North Armenian vineyard of Tavush. But you can also, of course, use many types of various digital innovation to bring wine directly to the home of your customers. At the end of the day, what you should retain in any kind of experience you want to build, it's always the history, traditions, combined by, a real vision to promote and speak about your territory with the right storytelling, that you could find a way to enlighten what is specific, original, personalized and distinctive in terms of wine experiences that you would like to offer to the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, please, let's gather the center of our stage for our regular group photo, the usual group photo. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would now like to invite our dear Sandra Carvalho to the stage to wrap up the conference and share the final conclusions. Please, you're a warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you all for your presence here and contribution to the workshop. Thank you very much to the facilitators. I think we've heard some really key insights. I particularly like to highlight the insights from Generation Z, straight from their own mouth, which is very important to really understand them, because I think this morning we talked about listening, and I think we need to do more of listening to them. So, and also an interesting travel trend, which is multi-generation travel. So people travel with their grandfathers and their children. So obviously, going to a wine experience needs to make sure that it might be interesting for everyone. So kids' experiences also are growing. I'm going to share with you just some insights. You've heard a lot, and I just wanted to wrap up a little bit of the discussions this morning, and also some of the ideas that came in the workshops. And I think probably one issue that came and is very horizontal to all the discussions were talent and skills. Either we talk about digital, or we talk about product development, or we talk about welcoming, or any e-commerce, we actually talk about the need to have better skills. So to invest in education. I must say I was very honored and privileged to be in the Wine Academy here and see how this has been growing the last 10 years. And I think this is really a good example of bringing different stakeholders together with the support of GIZ here in Armenia. So I think this is a good model, as well as someone is saying the need to create other models beyond, obviously, the importance of academic training and universities, but to find out new innovative ways of training. The need to value your team, and I think it was very interesting from Caroline's presentation, how bringing the team together, listening to them, and give them space. We know from research that obviously retribution is important, but especially for younger generations, feeling integrated, feeling valued, having career prospects is almost as important as what pays you at the end of the month. The second point, we talked about storytelling, and I just want to bring back what Paul said. Don't forget, you need to find a challenge to tell the story. You need to struggle strongly, and you need to have an happy end. So I think if you're thinking about storytelling in your own business, think about, your start, how it was. That sometimes we tend to, hide the bad things. So what Paul told us is really bring the bad things out and tell about them. Then we talked about digitalization and how we can explore new technology, especially artificial intelligence. We heard about text to video, so I think it's worthwhile to explore, see what comes out with your own content, complement, revise, but also we need skills, obviously, and sometimes it's not necessarily in the winery, it can be something that should be maybe pulled in the destination so that the government agencies and the different associations can pool resources, because this always demands investment. Then we talked about climate change and sustainability. Obviously, cost is still a challenge, but the feeling is also that there's not enough guidelines which are specific to tell you what to do, because I think a lot of the businesses want to do it, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how that can be addressed. So I'm very happy that tomorrow we will have one of the workshops that will talk about that. And also skills, because to implement, obviously, we come back to the first point, which is not only the skills that we think about, but also skills connected to sustainability are more important, and also to issues that are beyond what we would immediately think about. And finally, the coordination among all actors. I think this is something that comes back over and over in our own conferences. Some of the issues that came up: trust, how do we build trust? Dialogue, we need to create common spaces for that dialogue, but we need to have a common vision, and we need to show the benefits, because many people don't have time, and so it needs to bring them a benefit. So I want to thank you. Those are just some insights of things that I think were discussed here. I'm sure you'll take your own ideas and your own conclusions. And this is also important for us to guide our work forward. So thank you once again very much for being here. I hope that tomorrow you enjoy a lot the wine and the knowledge sharing and networking. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandra. Before we close this conference, allow me to share some information on tomorrow's tours and masterclasses. Remember that all transfers will be leaving from Republic Square across the street. Departure and return time will vary based on the tours you've signed up for. Can we have the slides, please? Okay. Well, okay. So you can see the details. And now, to deliver the closing remarks, I would like to invite on stage Deputy Minister of Economy of Republic of Armenia, Mr. Arman Khojian, please.
Yeah, it works. It works. No? Yes? Yeah, closer. Yeah, closer it works. Yeah, actually I will be speaking in Armenian. So the ones that doesn't speak Armenian or understand, I would highly recommend to take the devices for translation. But actually, if you are too tired, just for your information, I will be just sharing some exciting words about the conference and how great you are. Հարգելի հյուրեր, որոնք արդեն այս վերջի երկու օրվա ընթացքում արդեն
been already made friends during these 2 days. So this is the time to join the 8th World Conference, during which we have identified the connection between the wine making and culture as a method for maintaining the traditions, fostering the traditions. Once again, we became sure that we can maintain and pass to the next generation our experience and our traditions. So winemaking is one of the primary directions and one of the four
Եվ այս օրերին հաճախ կլսեք, որ Հայաստանում են հայտնաբերվել շուրջ 6000-ամյա գինու բազմաթիվ կարասներ։ Եվ ես կարող եմ հաստատել, որ դրանք այստեղ գործող գինու արտադրության եւ գինեգործության հազարամյա ավանդույթների խոսուն վկայություններն են։ Այս հայտնագործությունները հարստացնում են ոչ միայն Հայաստանի, այլ նաեւ գինեգործության պատմությունը։ Եվ զբոսաշրջության ոլորտում պետական քաղաքականությունը ուղղված է գինու հանրահռչակմանը։ Հարգելի ներկաներ, հավատացած եմ, որ գինու զբոսաշրջության 8-րդ համաշխարհային համաժողովի շնորհիվ հնարություն ընձեռվեց
we enable to consider in one platform and to present the most interesting and most outstanding achievements in the wine industry. And once again, this conference emphasizes the importance of socialization and advancement of the wine tourism. I hope that this platform will enable more opportunity to enlarge the cooperation between one another and development of the new routes of the wine tourism and development of the new wine tourism production is one of the evidence of the success. Once again, I want to express my gratitude to the participants of the 8th. Cheer up. So, English. And I express my gratitude for your active participation to this conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Stage from UN Tourism, Sandra Carvalho, with big round of applauses, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be brief because I know we have transfers waiting for us for our dinner. Bariereko, everyone. Dear Deputy Minister, first of all, thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you, to your team, to all the lovely team who's been, I know, behind the scenes to make this possible. So thank you for your commitment and thank you for your partnership and working side by side with UN Tourism to make this happen. It's been a privilege to be hosted by Armenia, much more to come tomorrow. I'm sure we all going to leave here with a total different image than you landed in this country. I'm sure you'll have a lot of stories to tell back when you meet your friends. I'm already following some of you on social media, and I've seen some really nice stories already coming out. So I think this is also part of our objective here, is to tell the story of what is happening, which often is not in our radars. So we're very happy about that. We will also come with a deeper appreciation of the links between culture and tradition and wine. This is the perfect place to do so, but also of the commitment of Armenia. I think we've seen with the Wine Academy, we've seen, someone was telling me that some years ago there was one wine bar and now there's 15, 200 companies working, so you can really see that there's commitment, there's interest, there's innovation, and there's government support, because as we were talking about coordination of all actors, if there's no leadership, it's difficult to happen. Then I want to thank all of you who came from far away. I know coming from Argentina and US and Canada and also the ones closer, without you this would not be possible. And I just want to wish that from here a lot of new partnerships emerge. I always say that this is the most important thing, that when we meet each other in 2 years, someone comes and tells, oh, the person I met in their conference, we're now creating something together. So thank you once again. Enjoy tonight and enjoy tomorrow for sure. And I hope to see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, Sandra. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great pleasure to join you all on this occasion. We thank you all who came to Armenia from all over the world, and we thank you, our YouTube channel viewers. Thank you for being with us. And remember that all foreign participants are invited to the gala dinner tonight. The buses are waiting for you outside the hotel. See you there. There will be more wine, delicious food, good music, dances, and dancing. So see you there.